Ladies and gentlemen, you have waited all week.
Yeah, Boogie Page. Throwing it down for All Things BMX is ready. I know I am. Check the ATB Airways. Let's kick it. All Things BMX. It's a BMX show. Unlike the rest, if we need some info, they got the best. Like and subscribe, kick back and relax. Said it's All Things BMX. It's a BMX show. Unlike the rest, if we need some info, they got the best. So like and subscribe, kick back and relax. All Things BMX is streaming to you. So post up on your couch, screencast to YouTube. It's gonna be fun, it will be a blast. You gotta do much but kick back and relax. They coming to you live from a studio, or they might be at the track, man, you never know. So don't go anywhere when my rhymes are done, cause the show's just starting, let's have some fun. I said it's All Things BMX, it's a BMX show. Unlike the rest, if you need some info, they got the best. So like and subscribe, kick back and relax. I said it's All Things BMX, it's a BMX show. Unlike the rest, if you need some info, they got the best. So like and subscribe, kick back and relax. All Things BMX got the boogeyman's back, so I wrote them this track to send some love back. JT, Melissa, Chris and Paul, DJ Damon, can I get it entertain y'all? And I wonder who they'll have on the show as a guest. I bet someone good who's gonna impress. Guess I will just have to wait and see. Let's get the show going and start the party. Said it's All Things BMX, it's a BMX show. Unlike the rest, if you need some info, they got the best. Like and subscribe, kick back and relax. Said it's All Things BMX, it's a BMX show. Unlike the rest, if you need some info, they got the best. Like, subscribe, kick back and relax.
Welcome to the All Things BMX Show. Getting down to the last few episodes of Season 3, where we tossed you a treat. You got to see the new season opener for Season 4. That was the new one. Big shout out to the Extreme Squared team for joining us and tuning in this evening. We have Tony with us. He's going to be talking all about Extreme Squared. Melissa's joining us on the Danger Snack video chat line. That's a lot. If you guys haven't checked out Danger Snacks, make sure you do. This snack is the difference between dragging ass and hauling ass. And I'm not going to lie, this stuff definitely has some kick to it. Opening song is brought to you by Boogeyman himself. He's healing up very well. Heard he was out. I think he's already out wandering around, running around, riding his bike or something. So good stuff. Glad to hear you're doing good. And you guys don't forget, you can support the show by sending us those Facebook stars, or you can head on over to our Buy Me a Coffee page and help us out. Send us some donation that way. All it goes to the equipment for this production. The show's chat is sponsored by BMX Rocks Photography. Go over and check them out. She does more than just take pictures. She can put your picture on a shirt. She can put it on a bag, whatever. Go check them out. Tonight's chat question: what are your guys' New Year's Eve plan? You guys going to have a Nerf gun fight? You're going to set it home? You're going to go out? What are you guys doing? Let us know. Put it in the chat. The BMX Showcase is brought to you by Answer BMX, as always. Been here since day one. Newsmaker segment is brought to you by our good friends over 110% Nutrition. Melissa's world-famous trivia segment brought to you by our good friends at Bombshell Racing System. Resident DJ, who's not so resident, but he is going to be resident coming up here in a month or so. He's actually going to be here. I'm not sure how we're going to set him up to DJ. I think we'll just let him sit at the table with us. He's brought to you by Truth BMX, and the birthday shout-outs are brought to you by On Two Wheels. And as always, our show opening is brought to you by our good friends over at Gate 9. You can catch our live stream version, and it's brought to you by Mega Design Group. Make sure you guys give them a lot of love and support. They do a lot of stuff over there, a full-on marketing company. Get a hold of Fel. He'll get you taken care of. The guy even designed boxes. It's pretty crazy. Podcast version is brought to you by our good friends at Dye Job Apparel. Welcome in, Tony, Melissa. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Doing well. Thank you, Justin.
All right. Melissa, how are things up in Michigan?
Warming up for you. No more snow.
I'm all right with that.
We're supposed to see 60 by the time your return home is done.
I can deal with that. We had 2 days of winter here, and as Tony knows, he's in Florida also. It it was 2 days of winter, and it's all done. It's over. It's back to just
Had to
normal.
break the jackets out for maybe once for the year.
I was shocked. I didn't know if people in Florida even owned pants, and like Brian didn't. He just ran around in his race pants for the 2 days it was cold out. Well, I want to welcome you in. Welcome you into the show, Tony. Really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Justin. Appreciate you having me on here.
Thanks for taking time out and joining us. So as we start every interview off with, tell us a little bit about how the sport of BMX found you.
Well, when I was a kid, I wanted to race motorcycles, and my mom said no. And I actually earned enough money. I was going to buy a motorcycle and was able to talk her into letting me buy a BMX bicycle. And so I raced. I raced for about maybe 3 years. Honestly, it didn't do extremely well. I was average at best, made it to expert and had to race 14, 15-year-old expert class, which was pretty tough. So I took a 37-year hiatus from BMX, but I always followed the sport. I kind of consider myself a BMX geek and really kept up with all the pros and who was racing in all the different eras, and had wanted my son to race, and he just wasn't interested in it until he hit 14 and decided he wanted to race BMX, and started out with him racing, and met Renato Silva, and Renato started training Brant, and then Brant really wanted me to do it too. So at 53 years old, 37 years later, here I was racing BMX again. And I'll tell you what I've really enjoyed the most, it just reminded me of what it was like when I was a kid, is just the people I've met.
Mm-hmm.
I've met some of the greatest people, and I've actually gotten to meet even some of my childhood heroes, which I didn't get to meet back then. I just saw them in magazines. So it's been really cool this last year and a half.
That's great. Who was like the biggest fanboy moment you had when you like, who was that person you met?
Actually, probably fanboy moment would be Tommy Brackett's,
Okay.
because it was a surprise. I met this couple that live in Georgia, Tim Merritt and his wife Nancy, and Tommy was actually sitting under their tent at the Gold Cup finals in Georgia, not this past year, but the year before. And I walk in the tent, and there's Tommy sitting in there, and she gets ready to introduce me to him, and I recognize him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, the human dragster? And my daughter was with me too, and I was going to introduce my daughter to Nancy, which I did, but then my daughter took a picture of Tommy and I, so that was really cool.
That's awesome. So you got, give us a little background on the Extreme Squared, like how it came about, what you guys do, kind of your mission statement with it, and walk us through from the inception to where you're at right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I've got a daughter and 4 grandchildren that live in Georgia, and my goal's been to get them to Florida. And so I wanted to start a little side company that would help me earn some extra money to do that. And it originally was not going to have anything to do with BMX. It originally was going to be a gaming product. But then once I got involved in BMX and fell in love with it, I just had to do something BMX. So kind of shifted gears with apparel and line. And the idea is to have apparel that's similar to Nike or Adidas, more of a sports performance apparel that you can wear with the double X and says that you belong to action sports, whether it's BMX, motocross, skateboarding, whatever it may be. But certainly not basketball, football, the traditional sports that Nike and Adidas represents.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the start of the company. And then I had an opportunity to get Renato on our team. So that's when we kind of got into the BMX team, and couldn't pass up the opportunity to have a legend like that on our team. And really never expected that to happen either. And then in terms of our mission's twofold. I've had 3 people in my life that have committed suicide, one very recent. It was a gentleman who was 71 years old. He actually was someone that trained me for one of the jobs I had several years ago. And so I knew this gentleman for probably close to 20 years and was shocked when I got the phone call that he had committed suicide. Um, and then my family has had a history of mental health concerns, anxiety, depression. And so that hits near and dear to my heart as well. So that's a big part of our mission. We plan to give 10% of our profits back to those two causes. I don't know if many people know this, but 22 veterans on average a day commit suicide. And so, it's really sad. You look at Robin Williams, somebody like that, who seemed to have everything going for him, yet he didn't. And there's a stigma that people don't really want to talk about mental health and depression. And we got to get away from that and really get it out in the open and let people know it's okay to suffer and it's okay to share and seek help. And so that's a big part of our mission is to get that out there. Second part of our mission is to get back to professional athletes. As I said, I got involved in BMX racing in the 80s, and I can remember Tommy Bracken, Stu Thompson, seeing the checks they held up, reading articles about what they made. And, today, quite honestly, the professionals don't make that much. And we were honored to be able to participate in Nick Long's duffel bag this year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big part of our mission too, is to give 5% back to professional athletes. And with BMX being the one that's biggest to our heart, that'll be the first one that we give back to is the BMX professionals.
Yeah, that's a great thing to be part of, Tony. That is.
Well, thank you. Yeah. But like I said, it's really, it's just been a joy. This has been a great year of my life, a year and a half, just getting back into the sport and really meeting the people that I've met and the family atmosphere. And to folks outside the BMX world, they don't have any idea what it's like. I had Brian reaching out to me before this podcast, give me some advice and help. So, that's pretty cool. That's just an example of what people are like in the sport.
Yeah, we, Melissa, you can correct me if I say this wrong. Like one of our first guests, he made a comment, it was Bill Heath, and he had said BMXing is 9 hours of hanging around with your second family and 45 seconds of racing.
Yeah.
And I still remember that from 130 some shows ago. And it's
absolutely,
it's such a good description of what we do, and to your point, like, if it wasn't for BMX, like my temporary relocation down here would not have been easy. Like I got in the car, drove down here. I felt like I was, home. I just went to the track saying hi to everybody. And when people found out I wasn't flying home, for Christmas, I'm flying home tomorrow for Christmas, but I didn't want to pay $2,000 to fly away a week, save it. But I had numerous people reaching out to me like, come on over, hang out with us. And it's a wonderful family to be part of.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's some of the best people I've ever met have been in the BMX community. Continue to meet great people. I look forward to every time I go to a race, meeting someone new.
Yeah. So when you decided you were going to do a team, what was the motivation? You said, what was it that clicked that was like, I want to do a team? Like, how was that?
Well, originally I just started a team for my son and his friends. And so that was originally the plan. And then also I started thinking about starting this apparel company, and, it's just kind of exploded from there. Renato, when I got to know him real well and we got to talking, and it sounded like a, good idea for him to be part of the team. Then that really kind of put us on the map because really, honestly, watching my son or myself run around the track in our jerseys, nobody pays a whole lot of attention. But when you get somebody like Renato all of a sudden wearing your jersey and we're a new team, people are like, how in the world did that happen? So it's been a fun year with this team and looking forward to 2023 and what's ahead. Boogie Page, for example, that's our. I need to mention him. You mentioned him earlier, and that's our newest member of our team. So we're very excited to have him on the team.
Yeah, he wow, was he excited? He helped me set up the pit area, him and his parents on Thursday. I think it was Thursday, and man, he could not. I think he probably told me at least 30 times. He was so excited, and like we all are, for him too. But man, that's definitely he is stoked, and I know he's itching to get back out and race in his New Jersey.
We're excited to have a kid with that talent. I mean, not only is he talented on the bike, but he does the intro song, and just a really great kid and great family. We met them through the pro experience training. Brant did 2 of the sessions. He did the one with Nick Long and Barry Nobles, and shout out to them again. Another example of what this community's like. It was a surprise birthday for Brant, and I'd never met Nick or Barry obviously at that time, and reached out to them, and they did a video for me, letting him know that was going to be his birthday gift.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so that was really cool.
No,
that's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, what other sport could you get professionals and a 2-time Olympian that you never even met to do a video for you?
Not one I know.
Both those guys are super great guys, and you look at the stuff they do behind the curtain, and the way they give back to the sport. Yeah, they're great people.
Yep.
You want to do a chat check-in, Melissa?
Sure.
Cool. All right, we're going to go over to Melissa, and we're going to do our first chat check-in. It's brought to you by our good friends over at BMX Rocks Photography. Melissa, how's the chat room looking this evening?
Oh, well, all the usual suspects are in there. We want to say hi and welcome to the show to everybody. We're going to give a special shout out to Rick Carter, Sean Gifford, Woody Stories with us. Robert Cardoza's tuned in over on YouTube. Speaking of the Page family, Greg Page is checking in on Facebook. I got a Tracy Jenkinson. Tony's an awesome guy. Glad to say he is a friend. Mo Collins. I wonder if Mo caught his picture in the new intro. Hollywood Mike Miranda's tuning in with us. We want to say hi to Mark Scott. Len Novak over in the Las Vegas area. Michael Lynn is with us. Julian Lemfert also tuning in. Speaking of legends, Harry Larry is in the chat over on Facebook. Hi. Hope you're having a great holiday season. Gate 9 number plates tuning in with us. Michael Mag, also wondering if he caught himself in the intro. Show friend Zach Goss, Scott Foster, they're tuning in over on Facebook. I see a Pump podcast over on YouTube. I can only assume that that's Chad joining us. Scott Wires says, what up, ATB? Oh, Mo said he did see his photo in the intro. Leslie Erschin says hi from T-Dog. Stephen Dagger Jr. is with us. Oh, he says I'm not here. LOL. That's cute. Boy, I'm going to really butcher this name. I'm going to take one out of Chris's book here. James
Shamanico.
Oh, what is it?
Shamanico.
Shamanico.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hell of a last name. I like that. He says, awesome evening adventure. Yeah, so if anybody's got any questions for Tony or wants to throw any subjects or anything out there, put them in the chat. I was just playing around on your website, Tony. There's some fun things on there.
Thank you.
I'll keep putting the links in the chat if anybody's interested. Go check them out.
Thank you, Melissa. Appreciate it. You guys getting in there, getting your questions in, and shout outs. Make sure you get them in there. We'll check back in with Melissa. Again, thank you from our good friends at BMX Rocks for supporting us with the chat check-in. So, going to jump back into talking with Tony here. Is there something in particular you look for in a rider that you're going to invite on your team?
Yeah, we're wanting to create a culture of riders that show respect and that are humble. We want to show good example for the community and be. As BMX riders, we're all going to get upset occasionally if we don't do good in a race.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't expect them to go up and try to start a fight with someone and that kind of stuff. We really don't look for that type of rider. We've got a really good group right now, and we're not trying to expand just by numbers. We're really looking for riders that really fit our culture first. And that, when Boogie reached out to me and talked to me about it, that was a no-brainer because he fits our culture and what we're looking for in a rider.
Nice. Did you have anything, Melissa?
Yeah, actually, now that you bring that up, I kind of was curious. Have you been part of other teams in the past? Like, have you ran other teams?
No, I was part of other teams when I was a kid. I was on several teams, but and I was on a really neat team in North Carolina when I was a kid. It was almost like being on a factory team in that the gentleman that we raced for, he often paid for our races. He would pay for our uniforms, which was really unusual for a local state team. And
Sure.
So I learned a lot from that gentleman. His name was Keith Buchanan, and the team was called the Z Team. And that was probably my fondest memories of being on the team. That and a local bicycle shop called Cycles de Oro I was on, and my mom was actually the manager of that team. So no, we just really kind of jumped into this. Without knowing what we were doing, and have learned along the way. And now we're trying to pick up some additional sponsorships.
Okay, so I want to ask about sponsorship, but before we get to that, though, so what do you think's been the most challenging part of sort of creating the team and getting this whole thing started?
The most challenging part has been saying no to some folks, because I have some good friends I'd love to have on the team, but my son pointed out that we were getting a little heavy on the older side and we needed to have some younger riders. And so there've been some older riders that I got to find that balance. There's some guys that I really would love to have on the team that I haven't even asked to be on the team, that just to try to find that balance in age. Because right now we got 3 guys, myself included, that are 50 plus. And then we've got 3 that are a little younger. And so trying to find that mixture has been probably the biggest challenge.
I could see that. Okay. All right. So then the flip to that, what's been the best, maybe the most rewarding part of it?
Being on All Things BMX.
That
this is the culmination.
Right up there. Yeah. I never thought I'd be on a podcast, so that certainly ranks right up there with the top.
Well, thank you.
It's kind of neat to be on a podcast, talking BMX. Like I said, I was just an average racer back when I was a kid. I've actually done much better as an adult. And that's another thing that's kind of funny to me. Whoever would have thought I'd be racing BMX in my 50s? My 15-year-old self never would have thought of that. I don't think anybody in their 50s were even racing back then. But the youngest guy or the oldest guy I can remember was probably in his 20s back when I was racing as a kid. Getting Renato on the team and as I mentioned, getting to meet some of these legends, that's been really neat. part of being on the team. But just seeing the excitement in the guys that we have on the team, we really like a family, and we treat each other like a family. We talk a lot, and that's been very rewarding. It's just having building that relationship with the guys that are on the team.
I like that. All right. So what kind of sponsors you got going on these days?
Well, the first sponsor we had was Pinks, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. They're out of Brazil, and they've been really good to us. They provided our uniforms last year, and we're talking about maybe running their frames this year, the PKS, which is a very nice looking bike. If you haven't seen one, they're very sharp, and so we're working with them. I think we're going to be working out a deal with Box. I was talking to them today, representing them. I've talked with Brian some, so I think there'll be some direction with him, Brian Wilson, probably on the Pro Gate side, because Renato already has a relationship with a company that does the rims, and then with Box, they have rims too. So be a little bit of conflict there of interest. Boogie's father's company is going to be a co-sponsor, Greg Page. And I'm actually looking at going outside of BMX too. I've got a couple corporate sponsors in mind. So I'm putting together a presentation now of the number of riders that are in the sport, how many people were at the Grand Nationals. I got that information from USA BMX. And I'm looking at a couple corporations that have some synergy with the sport, and going to approach them and see if they're interested in providing some sponsorship help, because ultimately I would like to have a factory team and build it around Renato, and add a couple really national ranked amateurs and possibly even a professional. That probably won't happen until later in this year, to maybe early next year, but that's the ultimate goal, is to have a factory team, and then also have a team that runs the Florida State Series and the Gold Cup races here.
Well, I mean, the Florida State Series is like a national series all on its own. It's amazing.
It really is. Yeah. I mean, I was amazed. I heard about it as a kid, what it was like. And we moved here 7 years ago, and then of course started back racing a year and a half ago. And I mean, the Florida State Series is amazing. If you ever get a chance and you don't live here in Florida, but you get a chance to come to one of the races, please do. You'll be amazed at how big it is.
Oh, it's insane. If I wouldn't have known any better, I would have thought I was at a national. But I mean, just pit row and just all the riders everywhere. It was crazy.
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah, we had Cape Coral, I think 185 maybe motos, something like that.
Yeah.
Something.
Well,
and we had over 200 at the finals last year at St. Cloud.
Yeah, I flew down.
My goal to be down there for that.
Yeah, I flew down for that one, and I'll tell you what, that and then the award ceremony, like, whoa, like, it's done right, you guys. It's amazing.
I broke my toe 6 days before the state finals last year.
Oh man!
And was leading the points and had to make the main to win the title. And fortunately, I made the main, but didn't do too well in the main.
You definitely get spoiled with that series.
You do.
You have like some of the best announcers. You got Chad and Nick. It's like two of the best announcers in the country. And then you turn around, the programs ran super good. You guys got awesome awards, and the team contest is crazy good. And you're right in the thick of it there. How is do you run team sheets during the?
We have not run team sheets yet. No. We're just, like I said, we're just kind of really getting started in terms of our team.
It's a lot more fun that way.
It is, and we eventually will, but we're not there yet.
Yeah, nice. So go ahead, Melissa.
I was just gonna say, if you were going in a direction, or I got a chat question too.
Oh no, take the chat question. I think I know which one
Okay.
it is.
Well, two actually. One for you. First off, I'm going to say hi to Mr. Andre LaCroix, and he would like to know if your sprints got done today.
They did not
Okay.
get done.
Not.
Two
Oops.
reasons. One, I left the sprint block over at Wilson's, and my bikes are there because I was doing tune-ups on them. But I was working, legitimately working today. So it's still
That
not
is
an
true.
excuse.
You had a very long working lunch today. Lunch meeting. Yes.
Way to put me under the bus, Melissa.
No, that was a good thing. You were working.
It was. Yeah,
I'm defending you,
it was
not throwing you under the bus.
3-hour lunch, and Greg and I will never eat lobster again.
Oh, well, that's sad to me.
You know how hard you have to work to eat that stuff?
I mean, yeah, but it's
Forget
lobster.
I ordered a hamburger.
That's adorable. And then my second part question. Well, okay. Hi to Renato Silva, by the way. He's in the chat.
Hello.
It's been a blessing to be on the team. Great family. Thank you very much, Tony. Nick Dasani joined us. Jim Bosco.
Renato.
Page is with us. So Stephen Dagger wanted to know, what is your motivation to race yourself?
Well, originally, I just wanted to watch my son race, and I was not planning on racing again. But the adrenaline is really my motivation. Prior to racing BMX, I was playing golf every Saturday morning. And it's so funny. I go out there now, and I don't go out there much at all anymore, really. But if I go out there and play golf, it's just kind of boring now. that adrenaline rush of getting on the gate and having 6, 7 guys beside you, and you're getting ready, the gate's going to drop, and you're going to be banging bars. I mean, there's nothing compares to that. So that, I think that's where I get my motivation. I just enjoy it. I just really enjoy the adrenaline rush of it. I enjoy getting out there and doing it. I've gotten in great shape compared to what I was in. I mean, I've lost 30 pounds in a year and a half doing it, and then I feel like I'm probably in the best shape I've been in years. So that's a bonus. And I'm competitive, so I do like to win. And I like working on my weaknesses. I know what my weaknesses are, so I'm trying to work on those and just get better.
Nice. So shifting gears for a second.
Mm-hmm.
So I hear you have a pretty interesting daytime job. And you also are kind of tied into the gaming world.
Right.
And I'm excited myself to hear about this. Like, how did you get into this gaming world? What is it that you did? Like, how did that fall into place?
Well, I've been in the rubber and plastic business for 34 years. It's pretty much all I've done for my normal career. And several years ago, I met a company, or was introduced to a company out of Atlanta that makes these thumbsticks. They're used for the controllers. And that's kind of how I got in the gaming world, was these controllers. It's a company called Control Freaks. And I helped with the design, and I helped with the machines that they use for that to make these parts.
Nice. Is that something? Are you still involved in that?
Well, I've got a friend in BMX, a guy named Stacy Lamb. He's an engineer, and he came up with a design for me that really improves the gaming sticks, these thumbsticks. And it's kind of on the back burner, but we found someone that it's a 2-part system, where right now the component that's out there is a 1-piece component. We found someone that can make the bottom portion of it, but I'm still trying to find somebody that can make the top portion of it for us. And if we find the right source for that, then that'll probably be part of our offering as well.
You said is it Control Freak? Was that the name?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Control Freak is the company that I was working with, and there's these little thumbsticks that go on top of the controllers, where you place your thumbs on the controllers on your right and your left, and it well, it gives you a little more grip, but it also, if you're very competitive, it improves the reaction time, kind of like with BMX, where we're trying to improve their reaction time with our gates. Well, they're trying to improve their reaction time with their shooting, the Call of Duty or whatever game they may be playing.
I'm pulling up a picture right here. Just give me 1 second. I had to make a couple adjustments real quick, but so that way people can see what we're what we're talking about.
Yeah, a picture does a much better job than probably the way I'm explaining it, because it is kind of hard to explain it.
Here we go. I'll slide this guy here, and I'll go to a full screen in 1 second. So here we go.
Oh, okay. Now I can picture what you're talking about. I have nothing to do with the gaming industry at all, but I have seen those kind of toggle switches like that before.
Yeah, the gaming industry is huge. I mean, it's really bigger than the NFL, Major League Baseball, and NBA put together. It's amazing.
So these are kind of like grips and other BMX parts that you can like kind of specialize for your own controller?
Yeah, the bottom portion of those are plastic, and the top portion is what's called TPE. So it's a thermoplastic elastomer. So it's got rubber characteristics to it, and that's what gives you a nice grip. And then the plastic portion of it is really what improves the accuracy of your shooting, or whatever game you're trying to play. And it really does improve your performance in the game. And these guys, they're pretty serious about it. They're as competitive with their games as we are with our bikes. So that's something that we probably will still do. I kind of got interested in BMX and kind of shifted lanes a little bit, but I will definitely get back to that.
Nice. So your time back, what do you feel since you've gotten back has been your big, we'll say BMX career moment? Like, what was that big thing for you so far?
For me personally, was winning the Florida State Championship in my proficiency.
Congrats.
Especially with my broken toe. That was, that's something I never dreamed of as a kid. And so that was really neat for me. And then making the Rock, making the finals at the Rock, that was an accomplishment too that I never imagined.
Nice.
I would say those two for me personally.
Oops, sorry about that. We're going to jump to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. You guys don't go anywhere. You got questions? If you got comments, put them in the chat. We'll get back with Melissa, and when we come back, we'll talk a little more about the products that you guys offer, all right?
Okay.
BrandedPopUps.com. Get a canopy from your favorite brands such as Carbone Cartel, Shadow Conspiracy, 110% Nutrition, Profile Racing, Union Square Shoes, ProGate, and Gate 9 Designs, among others. Each canopy is 10 foot by 10 foot, comes with a user-friendly collapsible aluminum frame, UV coated for sun protection, and water and flame resistant. Visit our website for the full offerings of your favorite BMX brands. BrandedPopUps.com.
are back, and I would say thanks to our good friends over at Branded Pop-Ups, Dye Job Apparel, and always the good folks at ProGate. We appreciate you guys and your support. And we are back with Tony joining us from Extreme Squared, and we want to jump in and kind of talk about the products you guys have that you talked earlier, where somebody's buying them, you guys have you donate 10%, and you talk to that, and I'll open up the website, and we'll get the website up on the screen so that people can see some of these products. Okay.
Yeah. Well, our goal is to be a sports apparel company. And so primarily what we're trying to target is that market. And we want, action sports athletes and fans to be able to show the general public that they belong to action sports and that's what they enjoy. And, if you're wearing a Adidas or Nike, everybody wears that. And let's face it, they're really focused on football and basketball and soccer and some of the more traditional sports. And I just feel like there's a need for someone to be able to wear something that says, hey, I'm into BMX or I'm into motocross or whatever it may be. So that's really what we're trying to target with our apparel. The first collection that we're going to have, as I mentioned earlier, suicide prevention is very important to us. And some folks may not know this, but the semicolon is kind of a sign for that. It really means that your life is not over. It's kind of like your sentence is not finished. You've got more to do. And so that's very important to us to have this on our shirts. The first collection, they'll be pretty prominent on the back of the shirts. And then as we move into other designs, you may just have a little semicolon in different places, kind of like a treasure hunt or Easter egg hunt of where these semicolons may be put on the shirts. But that's in the future. We really don't want to be another T-shirt brand per se. We will have some T-shirts, we will have hoodies, but really thinking more the dry fit, the more the performance type clothing wear. We do have some accessories as well. We've got bottles and mugs that have our logo on it. We have some hats like the one I'm wearing now that will have our logo on it. And that one there that you just showed, I know Boogie's got one of those hats that he wears with pride. Another thing that we'll be launching is we're going to have some silicone bracelets. And I don't have that on the website yet, but it says "Don't Give Up." It has our logo on it. And I know it's not really easy to see this, but it also has a semicolon. And then on the back of the bracelet, it'll have 988, which is the new suicide prevention number.
Awesome. Tony, do you have a particular group or charity that you typically like to have worked with or send money to?
Well, I've talked to a company called Boot Campaign or organization called Boot Campaign. And as I mentioned earlier, there's 22 veterans that commit suicide per day. So that's the group that we want to give 5% to. And then I've also reached out to the Kevin Love Foundation. Kevin Love is a basketball player for some folks that may not know who that name is. And he plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers, I believe, is current team he plays for. I'm not really big in the NBA like it used to be, but I believe that's the team he's on. But he came out a couple of years ago and said that he was suffering with anxiety and some depression, and he started a foundation, and their goal is to educate children and get it into the schools. And let's face it, that's really where it starts a lot of times, is with children. So those are the two foundations that I'm looking at supporting, both from the veteran side as well as getting it into the schools and getting the education there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So 3 favorite BMX riders.
Bernardo Silva, Stu Thompson, and Drew Polk. I got to throw an old school guy in there. Stu was my favorite old school racer.
That's a good group. That's a solid group right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
definitely,
all 3 of them still can haul ass too. So like
they can. I hear Stu may be coming back next season. I'm hoping that's true.
That guy, we saw him on the cruise. Like, dude's in killer shape. There's no. When we were playing dodgeball, I'm pretty sure I saw the dude have a vertical leap of over 4 feet.
Wow.
And that wasn't the dodgeball was the first day, so it was already a long day, and we got the court later, right? It was like what, 10:30?
Yeah.
So
it was late.
There's a lot of people were already, they tossed back quite a few sodas, and it was just a long day. And like the dude is still fast. The guy could jump still. He'd easily make a comeback and race. That guy probably could go right in the vet pro and do good.
Oh yeah, I don't think he ever got out of shape. I mean, he was a highway patrolman, I think, and
yes,
and still I know he's always raced some form of bicycles, not always BMX, but it's always been mountain biking or road biking. And
what did he say he did, Melissa? The thing on the road bike, 100 miles or something. They did it for the police thing. Somebody in the chat,
it was a charity ride.
Yeah, insane amount too. They like just jumped on the bike, and I want to say it was a 100-mile ride or something. It's just wild. If somebody in the chat can put it in there and let me know. All right, man. You ready for lightning round?
Yeah, absolutely. Give it to me.
All right. We're going to fire up lightning round, and want to let you guys know that lightning round is brought to you by our good friends at Branded Pop-Ups. You guys got to see the commercial, so you don't have to listen to me slaughter the read anymore. And what we're going to do, we're going to go at, and we're going to do some rapid fire questions with you, Tony. So first thing that pops up, go right away. And you guys don't forget, spring is going to be here before you know it. And you guys want to freshen up your pit area, go over to brandedpopups.com. You guys you saw them in the commercial, you can order your favorite tent of the company you like, or you can contact Mr. Fell and have him make a custom one for you, okay? So make sure you guys check them out. That's brandedpopups.com. Link will be in the chat. All right, Melissa, you want to take the first one?
I will, but it's the Centuries Ride.
That's it. Thank you.
Like, it's common for road bikes. It's 100 miles. Yeah. So you had that right. Or Centuries or something along that line.
Right.
But. All right. First one. Tony, all-time favorite movie?
Christmas Vacation.
Oh,
I
nice.
love that movie.
I
don't think my family gets tired of it, but I can never have enough of it.
All right.
And then probably a close second would be Chasing Mavericks, which I don't know if you ever even heard of that one. But it's a really good movie.
All right. I'll put it on the watch list.
Yeah.
Your favorite TV show?
Breaking Bad was my favorite one. I don't know that I really have a current one, but that was the one show that stopped that I really hated to see end.
Did you catch in or get into this Better Call Saul? Because isn't that like a...
I started watching some of it, but just didn't quite get into it as much.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Tony, what is your favorite road trip food?
Favorite road trip food? Bojangles.
Okay.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah, it's North Carolina. Coming from North Carolina, you gotta love Bojangles.
What was the last thing you Googled?
Last thing I Googled, I'm sure it was BMX related. I think it was. Yeah, I think it was something. It was probably Box because I was talking.
I was gonna say,
Box.
what's Box's phone number?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Tony, what is your favorite city that you've ever been to in the world and why?
Well, we just went to Cabo, Mexico. We went to Sammy Hagar's birthday bash in October. And that was pretty fun. That's something that was on my bucket list because I'm a big Sammy Hagar fan. And you have to sort of like win a lottery to be able to buy the tickets. and they're cheap once you win it. It was $75 for each one of us. And so that's probably up there. I really haven't done a whole lot of traveling for pleasure. I've done mostly for business. So I would say that one's probably my favorite.
All right.
Are you a tequila fan?
I am, but you don't want me drinking tequila. My wife calls it me Tequila Tony, and she doesn't like it when Tequila Tony comes out. So
Yeah. Okay.
I'm a lightweight, so it doesn't take much for me. And that tequila
Gotcha.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Your favorite pizza topping?
pepperoni.
All right.
Okay. If you'd never been involved with BMX as a hobby, what would you have done?
Well, I was doing golf before that, so probably golf.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you, is it sweet or salty for you?
Salty.
Okay.
That's an easy one. My wife's family thinks something's wrong with me because they bring out desserts and I'm not interested. But give me French fries and I'm all for it.
Well, you might have answered this one then. What's your favorite snack?
My favorite snack, probably pizza. Yeah.
Okay.
Your favorite guilty pleasure?
Okay, this is a funny one because I knew y'all were going to ask this question. And this will show you that I always kept up with BMX because this is not one that was in my era, but my wife likes to watch the LMN movies, and I sometimes watch them with her. And Matt Polkamp is in a lot of them.
Yep.
So I say I watch them because I want to see Matt in them.
Yes.
But actually, he's a pretty good actor compared to most of the ones they have on those movies.
We're working on scheduling him on the show, actually.
Oh, very good. Well, my wife will definitely watch because she's a fan.
Yeah.
He's a busy dude.
He's
Yeah, he is. I mean, it seems like almost every other LMN movie he's in it. So, and he really is, compared to most of the ones they have on those movies, he's pretty good actor. So he's done well.
That's cute. Are you an Instagram or a Facebook?
I'm more Facebook. Yeah.
all right. Apple or Android?
Apple.
All right. Perfect. That's the correct
As it should
answer.
be.
Yeah.
What talent do you wish you had?
I wish I had more of a musical talent. I played drums some when I was younger, but I wasn't all that great. I wish I could have been better at it. So.
All right.
Very good.
What's one thing that people are generally surprised to find out about you?
I guess I race BMX. They probably wouldn't think that unless they talked to me about it. So.
All right.
Maybe my age. My wife said my age. She's in the background. I've got good genes, I guess. My mom was that way, and most people think I'm a little younger than I am.
All right.
So,
Go with it.
yeah,
What was your very first job?
Arby's.
Nice.
All right.
And I had to wear the ugliest uniform. I'm so jealous of what they get to wear now compared to what we had to wear. It was brown polyester.
Oh, wow.
Right.
In the 80s. Yeah.
Now they're in like khakis and a polo.
Yeah. Now they can pretty much wear whatever they want. They'll just take a warm body these days.
You are not
What?
joking.
Yeah.
Truth be told.
I mean, I've seen them wearing hoodies at McDonald's or whatever. Now it's just that times have changed.
Yes, they have.
Your favorite Wednesday night live BMX show?
That's the easiest one. All Things BMX.
All right.
Justin and Melissa.
Oh, we appreciate it. And we again thank you to Brandon Pop-Ups for sponsoring the lightning round. All right. I want to go out and kind of toss it over to you. Any thanks, shout outs, anything like that. And if you can, kind of re-plug the mission you guys have and how somebody can get a hold of you. And then we'll slide into the newsmaker segment and we can, want you to help me out there. Okay.
All right. Very good. Well, yeah, shout outs. Let me, first of all, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. That's number one in my life. And then like to thank my family. Without my family, I couldn't do this, and they've been very supportive. And my son and I, we've had a great time doing this together, and my wife being part of it as well. Like to give a shout out to my team, Renato, Michael, Julian, Boogie, Brant. We've got a great team, and I really appreciate the friendship and the fellowship with the team. Shout out to all the guys I race against and all the family and friends I've made this year and a half at the BMX scene. Pants, I mean, they've done such a great job with our jersey and pants, and really appreciate everything they've done for us. And Box for looks like they'll be coming on as a co-sponsor for us. You can find us at www.ex2treme.com. That's our website, and we've got a Facebook page you can find us at. We're also on Instagram and got a TikTok, but I don't know much about TikTok yet, so I hadn't really done much with the TikTok page.
Yeah, we've got one of those too. I'm not real sure what you can find it on Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to get my son to help me a little bit with that, because I honestly really don't know what I'm doing or understand it very much.
Well, thank you. And
all right, Tony, I got one last minute question for you.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I know the answer because I was on your Facebook stalking. But I think this is a great question. So Rick Carter wanted to know how your team name came about.
How our team name came about.
The Extreme Squared.
Yeah. Well, we like to say live extreme and then some. That's kind of our motto or our catchphrase, if you will. And so it's kind of like taking extreme to the extreme, if you will, and using the square symbol to symbolize that. And so that's really how the name came about. It's been kind of a confusing name for some people. Some people think it's too extreme, but you know, that's really where it came about.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
I like it. All right, we're going to slide into the Newsmaker segment here, and we want to thank our good friends over at 110% Nutrition for sponsoring our Newsmaker segment. And we're going to start off with, well, two parts to this one. So Waterford Oaks did a pretty cool, I didn't call it a fundraiser, but they teamed up with a local bike shop up in Michigan, Magic Motorsports, and they donated 2 bikes to, and it was a nomination thing. You just emailed the track and was like, here, you know, I know a family I know that needs, you know, could need a bike, right? And I'm telling everyone, man, go to their Facebook page and watch the video, because they got the kids that got the bikes. You will probably your eyes will start sweating. And they got the kids at a local skate park. Shout out Modern Skate and Surf. And they took the bikes in and gave them to them. Like, I'm getting chills talking about it, because it was really good. It's just our great work. And what was amazing is Pat reminded me, he's like, yo, I was like, thank you for the follow-up. You did your follow-up. So like, I implore everyone, like, after the show, go to Waterford Oaks and check that video out. It was really awesome what they did. And it was, man, the kids were so stoked. But in other news, coming up March 12th, Waterford Oaks is going to invade Ray's MTB Park in Cleveland. That's Disneyland for us BMXers. And it's a haven for the Midwest, because pretty much the only place we get to ride there in steel wheels. Because you don't want to go to Dayton, because you're probably going to get shot. So they're going to go over to they're going to invade Ray's. You guys, if you're planning on going, let them know at the counter that you're with Waterford Oaks. That's March 12th, and you're going to get in for $15. That's like more than half of what it normally would cost to ride there. So yeah, make your plans. Join Waterford Oaks at Ray's Mountain Bike Park on March 12th. It's going to be a good time.
And I put their Facebook page link in the chat, so go check out that video.
Perfect. All right, Tony, you going? You gonna do the banging bars next weekend?
You know, I'm on the fence on that one. I'd like to.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to travel some next week, so it just depends.
All right. Well, if you're there, I'll see you.
Yep.
And it's gonna be a good time. By the way, the times are now posted at Ride Florida Facebook page. They have the times for the races. But we've been talking about this. I'm super excited. Race all 4 races. You get a pretty cool little gift award. I believe it's not a plaque or what is it this year? Nick told us it's a tumbler. And and I hope he did, because if he didn't, I'm in trouble. But we're gonna start off the 6th. We're gonna go to Naples, and then back to back on Saturday we're gonna go to Charlotte, and then Cape Coral, and then we're gonna finish up Sunday at Triple Creek. So I'm looking forward to this. We've promoted, I think this is this 3rd year that we've been able to promote it with them, and it's cool. It's a bunch of racing, and it's a lot of fun.
Info's in the chat.
Thank you.
Hey, Justin, have you been to those tracks? I know you've been to Cape Coral, but have you been able to go to any of the other ones?
Yeah, I've been.
You rode Naples, haven't you?
Yep, Naples is a lot of fun. My buddy's daughter is actually down Naples training, Mila Kelly.
Okay.
Yeah, she. But I have a ton of fun at Naples. Like, dude, Charlotte is a blast. You just like that over and under there. I'm so glad that they never changed, to that back and forth layout, because that is just a cool track. Triple Creek, I've been waiting. I was gonna go the last time I was down here, and something popped up, so I'm excited to go. Our friend Rick helps out. Rick Kaneda helps out over there, so I'm excited to check out that track. Yeah, I've been to Sarasota. What's some of the other tracks we went to, Melissa? I've been to a handful of them here. I'm working on
Cloud.
Yep, St. Cloud, Dayton or Daytona. I'm working at checking them all off.
You're gonna be in
the only one I haven't raced on is Charlotte. I've been there. I practiced on it one night, but I didn't get to race that evening.
It's on the long side, but it's so much fun. That track
it is a fun track. I got in a lot of laps at practice that evening.
Yeah, dude, when you go there to practice, it's even. I tell people this, like, it's even more fun to practice because you've got that over and under. You can go this way, go that way, and then it's that split thing down the second straight. You can the little kids, the pro side, the amateur side. So they got a good program there too.
They do.
All right, and we're going to talk about our friends here at recently on the show. This is Nowhere BMX, April 22nd. A little ways out, so you guys got plenty of time. You guys check it out. It's their Corn Hucket Jam. If you didn't catch that show, go back and check it out with Carl. It was awesome. And they got a skate park, indoor skate park, pump track. It's free. They got tons of classes they're gonna have: beginner, intermediate, expert, over 30 girls, and a pro class. This thing is wild. So plan your trip. Go visit the people at Nowhere BMX. And somebody you were speaking about earlier, the captain. So we're going to do each week, as I said last week, we're going to, as Nick starts doing his clinics, every Wednesday we're going to let people know where the next few clinics are. And but before we jump into that, I want you guys to know that you can support Nick and Lindsay by going over and buying some T-shirts from them. We're going to put the link in the chat. Just hit them up on Facebook. And get yourself one of the limited edition 2022 tour shirts, and get to his clinics because they're really, really good. If you're a team, a track, a club, a group, and you guys are hosting an event and you'd like to have it on the show, please send us your information, and you send it to our info at allthingsbmxshow.com, and we'll get it on here. It's that simple. Like, you can text me.
Waterford did.
You go to our Facebook page, and I actually have a button on the top. It says email us. You just click that and then send it right over. It's that easy, ladies and gentlemen. Not hard. So thanks, everyone, for what they sent in. And without further ado, it's time for Melissa's world famous trivia, which is brought to you by our good friends at Bombshell Racing System. We appreciate you, Bombshell Dave and company. You got a good one this week? Oh.
I went a little further.
Oh, we got a good one.
I can't remember if I've actually asked this before.
No, I don't think so. All right. This is going to be a good one.
All right.
It's Tom Brady.
Prior to the asking of the question, the display of the prize pack. Look at all those amazing stickers. Danger Snacks, 110%, T-Bone Nation. There's Dye Job Apparel back there. There's Gate 9 number plates. You get them all. I got a Rad Dad's koozie. A little chilly for needing these, but you know, drinks are always better cold. And out of the prize vault comes a Helium t-shirt. Size, what is the size of this? Large. So kind of a steel gray cool t-shirt here. And you get your very own T-Bone BMX prize pack, backpack. Okay. Back in the USA BMX Hall of Fame vault, I would like to know who was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2002 for industry. And Justin, do you know that year? And why I picked that year?
2000. Is that when we dated the first time?
That's the year we met.
Yep.
Many moons ago. So, who was inducted in the USA BMX Hall of Fame for industry in 2002? And you just scored some bonus points, dear.
How can I forget? You know.
Yeah, exactly.
I think your parents are still traumatized. You brought me over with all those piercings, like 13 of them in my face. Looked like I fell in.
Someday I'll break out some photos and surprise, like photo bomb.
No need, man.
Oh, you wait.
Tony, I look like I fell in a tackle box. It was the phase. It was just a phase.
Yeah.
He was the rebel boyfriend, Tony.
Yeah. You know,
I'd like to see that picture. You have to bring it out, Melissa.
I will.
Yeah. Well, you'll be hanging out in the after chat for a few minutes, and I think I can dig it up because don't I have the one when we met at the bar when I was DJing?
You do, but I probably have all of them much more accessible.
That's true. All right, I like these answers that are flying in the chat because they're all over the place. This is a great question.
They are.
And don't go Google it either. All right.
Remington says Paul Remington.
He did. Paul Remington into the Hall of Fame. So we are going to talk about our guest next week. And looking forward, the Mr. Cyclecraft himself is going to be joining us, Patrick Dietz. He's going to join us on the show, and we're going to talk Cyclecraft. So it's going to be a fun time. You guys tune in next week. And if you guys got somebody you're thinking about, like, hey, this person would be cool to be on the show, let me know. We'll get a hold of them because like we're always looking for new guests, and it's gonna
absolutely
whatever. I get sidelined with stuff and forget. So yeah, send them over. All right, we ready for showcase? All right, we're gonna talk showcase. Melissa, you want to take?
Ready?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, so I'm not going to give away their season opener. We're going to talk because it's going to be a good one. Their season finale of Dirty Knobs podcast. The guys Hollywood Mike Miranda, Eric Carter, and James Vicente are bringing behind the scenes stories and guests back from the day. So their most recent season finale, their episode number 20, was with Brent and Brian Patterson. And that dropped a little bit earlier this month. January is going to be killer. You're not going to want to miss it.
And they did the Christmas special, the rental car story.
Yeah, you're right. I meant to put that on there. They did. So I'm going to put their YouTube link in the chat. So go check these guys out. And the new year is going to bring some fire.
All right. We want to talk about Moms Talk BMX podcast. The latest episode. It's BMX wife and 3-time mom, Rhonda Bramer, or 3-time BMX. How the hell would you say that? She got 3 people. She got her husband and both boys race a BMX. Like none of they're all killer racers. Yeah. She sits down with the ladies and she talks about juggling everything and doing BMX, and they're planning on relocating here and all that stuff. So it's a good listen. Make sure you check it out. Melissa will put the link in the chat for you.
Yep.
Oh, our good friends at Beer Budget BMX Show. Let me tell you what.
Oh, you don't want me to take this one? Wink,
I didn't.
Wink.
I don't. Dude, I mean, you could go. You could fire.
No, mine will be lame. It'd be way too quiet.
Look,
this is your show.
it's I got to tell you, it's always a great time, and sometimes I got to catch the replay because they're on the West Coast, so typically they start a little later than I'm up, and but I'm gonna tell you, when you guys think of Beer Budget BMX, what are you guys thinking about? Let me tell you what you're thinking about. I'm talking about Rick Carter sitting there without a shirt on doing Randy Macho Man impressions, yelling at factory dads to pedal. That's
I like it.
So you guys tune in on Saturday nights whenever they go live.
That's pretty realistic.
I'm pretty sure I've actually seen that happen on that show.
Right.
Yeah. And the best way to experience Beer Budget is tear your shirt off and watch the show from your own home. Links in the chat. Go over and give them a follow, give them a like. Those guys are always doing good stuff. Yeah. So more Bramer.
Yeah, but the Mr. Bramer.
Mr. Bramer.
Daddy Bramer.
He's hanging out with the Lane 8 podcast group, and Jim Bramer sets down nag number 1 in Cruiser 5155. Dude's legit, man. Horsepower for days. Make sure you guys check him out. Links in the chat. And if you missed it, did you see last week? Yeah, when Todd. Well, that's right. You probably don't because it's a Florida channel. Todd actually was anchor of the news channel he's at. He filled in. Like full on did the whole anchor thing. He wasn't out in the field or nothing. Pretty cool to see him. Because I hear him, I listen to them, but he's always working, so we can't have him on the show. But it was interesting to see him doing his thing as a news anchor. You want to let him know about Boss Man?
Yeah, absolutely. This is a vlog hosted by Maurice Adams, and he is pretty much a jack of all trades. So his videos range from races to training tips to coaching, all stuff. So go check out his YouTube channel. He's got it all.
He does.
I'll put the link in the chat.
Do you know he has another channel on I don't know when this guy sleeps. He has another channel on YouTube about proper discipline for shooting guns.
No, I didn't know that. I knew he was into firearms, but I guess I didn't.
I mean, he has everything in there from like the proper way to handle your pistol at a range to he actually gets products and does like rundowns of them. So dude's super busy, and he's always good stuff on his channel. So make sure you guys check him out. And if you're a podcast, a live stream, you guys have a magazine, it doesn't matter. If it involves BMX, email us and let us know because we're happy to share it. We love to get the good word of BMX out. We get a winner yet?
Well, I should have known that an old schooler was going to know the old schooler.
Really?
Although 2002 isn't that old in all theory, but I kind of stumped. I stumped everybody but Robert Cardoza.
Cardoza got it?
The correct answer is Chris Moeller was inducted in the Hall of Fame in 2002 for industry. Awesome. And Robert Cardoza got it right.
Well, congratulations, Robert. We'll re-gift your prize pack because you're on like the 30th one you've won. Great question.
Yeah.
So birthdays. Chris is he's a little MIA. So Melissa and I will chop it up and we'll cover birthdays and hopefully we keep it as interesting as Chris does. So we're going to jump into the birthday list here and we'll start out. You want to take the first few here and I'll switch through them, Melissa?
Absolutely. I'm just trying to avoid a sneeze. Hold on.
Okay.
Excuse me. Okay. We want to say happy birthday to Gigi Alexis, Glenn Lyde, Dorian Carrero, right? I should know who that is. Tyler Ginter and Edu BMX.
Yeah, it's they're friends with me on Facebook. That's how their names get put on here.
Sure.
Next group we got up here, Kylie Hooper, happy birthday. Chuck Nagy from Heavy Pedals, happy birthday, big guy. George Costa from Running, and Steve Lithgow, and Old School Racer, Troy Rotz out of Owasso. Happy birthday, my friend.
We're going to continue on with our birthday wishes for Miss Michelle Carter, Bill Adama, Landon Karen, Max Isler, or Eisler.
It's Eisler, I think.
What?
I don't.
Joggy.
Yeah, I don't know. I copy and paste them.
Well, happy birthday, Joggy.
Okay, yeah. Our friend 80s Craig, and he does the Big Bike BMX podcast show. Big Bike. Miranda, correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Dave Clinton, Jordan Roberts, Ashley Box, Tony Cards, and Mark Dunn. And last but not least.
Oh, the one that's killing Justin.
Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness.
Our very own Alicia Jackson will be 21 on the 3rd of January. 2-1. That's crazy.
The gang.
So we wish you a very special happy birthday, young lady.
Yeah.
And we will see you on Monday.
I've known this girl since she was like 2. Just terrifying. Now she's 21. A lot of people know because
it means you're older.
Oh God. So yeah, about that.
About that.
Yeah. Again, hey, happy birthday, Alicia. Tony, I want to say thank you. Please stick around. I know some of the guys wanted to ask you some questions in the we call it the PC term. The shit show. It's the after chat. So if you guys want to talk to Tony, I'll put the link up. You guys, it never changes. I don't know why I even say I put the link up. I don't. You guys know the link. It's the same one each and every week. You join us afterwards. Melissa, is there anything you wanted to add before we sign out?
No, I just wanted to wish everybody a very, very happy New Year's. I really am looking forward to 2023. I think there's going to be some amazing things happening in the BMX world and in our own world. And we just wish all of our listeners and guests and the like, sponsors, everybody a happy New Year's and all the best in 2023.
Thank you, Melissa. Tony, take us out.
Yeah, I'd like to wish everybody a happy New Year's as well. And 2023 is going to be a great year for all of us.
All right. Thank you, Tony. Stick around. I'll see you guys here in the after chat. You guys have a good night.
I got moto. I got moto.